Yo, JD here, Tyrolemus, and as you can see here today, this is going to be an online video for the lobbies I've been doing recently. So as always, please follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. If you're racing on Xbox, then I'd love to race against you guys because these lobbies have been so fun, and I plan to do pretty much every single day these ones. So this one, I decided to put on a 25% round Monaco with around 20 people in the lobby. Collisions are on. Corner cutting is just on regular because people probably get disqualified and everything. This is the first time I've done the track as well myself, and damage is actually off because, frankly, I don't think I'd have enough front wings to actually complete this race, most likely. So this is going to be my first time around here, which I'm sure is for quite a few people as well. Setup videos are actually coming tomorrow. A little bit of delay in that, unfortunately, because I've actually been quite busy with other things. So they will continue tomorrow, which is actually around this track. So I'm throwing on 1010 wing, 6 ballast, just eyeballing it in this one. But let's see how we get on. 25% round here. And I was feeling pretty nervous going to this first corner in the Sauber, which I really like. It looks really nice in this game. So we've got 4 lights, 5 lights. And the way we go now, getting a relatively good start with that 1010 wing, giving us good traction, no assist as usual. Thinking about going to the inside of Tarossa, get a little bit bumped, he's cutting the corner completely, and there's already a major collision. I don't know what has actually gone on. I think the Ferrari has just completely blown up as we're actually ghosting through some people as well now. And let's see what we can do. So we're in 6th place, trying to fight for 5th, and we actually got caught on the Tarossa, so being squeezed into the wall. Not really too much either of us could do anything there. We've been squeezed into the wall again, and we've done a vert line, and oh my god, we almost fell through the map. So if we'd had damage on, then I think that would have been a pretty definite rain off the cards, as seeing slow motion here. As the gamer tags actually switch around, so you can actually sit as you're going upside down, as TSR Cupid pointed out quite funnily on Twitter. So that's a good little thing. Now we get a disconnection glitch, but if you go upside down, you can still see the gamer tags, which is a really cool feature in this game. But yellow flags now, and we're just going to do the best we can. Come on, so getting a really good traction coming off here, going past the Mercedes of Ren, followed by a barcode as his gamer tag. But we're going to go down here into chicane. This is the first time I'm doing this, so not really knowing when to turn in at the moment, but the input lag on the controller is feeling pretty good at this point throughout this race. So I was actually pretty happy. And this track, I've always liked this track. I've always had good pace around here. So hoping for something good. So slingshotting us up off the last corner. He goes on the curb a little bit. So go around the outside of the 4-cylinder. Let's see if we can get him down to 1. Going up in 7th gear. Going down through the gears. 3rd gear for this one. Trying to get a switch back and him going up the hill. Make a little bit of contact with him, which stops us. And at this point, I was thinking of doing another move around the outside. So we're going to do what we did. Well, actually, no, not at this point. I think that's on someone else. But holding stations for now. 4th gear. And let's see if we can get exit. And we just lose the car again. So damage is on. I think we would have destroyed our car at least twice by now by that force. So that's why I decided to have it on. But obviously, when we do league racing, we can't have that. So got to do plenty of practice for that. But now we're going to try and get good traction up here. Probably my favourite overtaking spot coming out of this. Get good traction with this setup. Thinking about going to the right, but switch over to the left. And let's see, going complete far out through the tunnel, bursting out into the light. Thinking about going inside, but we think better of it. 3rd gear, a little bit of ghosting there, but try and get some good traction off this again. And that's what my setups are really primarily for. They're really just based on traction, and I feel they deliver really good traction. A lot of people say to me, do you use the TT setup in the race? Yes, I do, apart from the wing. The wing, I'd probably go up 1 or 2 on the front and rear wing, and the ballast I'll probably go maybe down 1 or 2 times, once or twice, just to get that stability, because I think online in this game it's going to be so crucial to have stability in the race. You may have an oversteer setup which will make you change corners really quickly. On a qualifying lap or TT, it will work really well there, but for a race I think it's going to be a lot more important to actually maybe sacrifice a little bit of quality speed to actually just stability, because when your tyres go off, and plus you're on heavier fuel and stuff as well, it's going to be a lot more slower paced, and I just feel that's a lot more important. And for me personally, that's worked really well. But we're on board for this lap, which I think is actually my fastest lap of this race at the moment. So it's a fairly decent lap. Obviously, when we actually get used to the track and actually do it properly for real in the time trial setup, which is coming up soon, probably tomorrow, that's going to come out for this track, then hopefully we'll be able to see what we can do. But you'll be able to see at this race, there's a few exploits on this that people are doing, and the rules are on for this race. It's just some regular cutting, so you still should get warnings and everything if you do cut corners. But going for this now, I quite like this corner. On 2016 that was particularly difficult on the controller, but it feels quite nice. Going a little bit too deep for this one. As the barrier ends, that's where you want to turn in, straight line it, going towards the line now, and I think we've done a 13.9 that comes up on the screen now, which I think it is. So 13.9 here, but skipping on ahead into the race, so lap 6, middle of lap 6, well behind F4H Venom, which I know is a very good Forza driver and pretty well good on leaderboards at the moment, but he's had a little bit of a mishap on this one. I think he's letting us pass there, so thank you very much for that. So we're up into 5th place now, so I can't remember where we started. I think we started nearest the front, we got blown up in turn 1, so... And my point in this race is just to have fun, but also to try and win the race as well. As someone's coming out of the pits, and just before the barrier, let's see if we could do anything now. I thought the guy was actually going to hit me coming out of the pits then, but as you can see, it's actually started to rain, so we've got a dry to wet race around Monaco in a 25%, so that's pretty interesting. And I haven't really done dry to wets apart from the event challenge online where you did the Spa one. That's the only time I've done it. So around this track as well, it's going to be, and you can see we're already locking up, so it's already having quite a big effect already, and we're just going to be as cautious as possible, probably turning in about 10 meters earlier than what we normally would do for in the dry, proper full dry. So this was a really big challenge, and I was really enjoying this. It's on equal car settings as well, by the way, so really enjoying this. Try and navigate our way through here. Someone cuts, and we just do exactly the same as well, because I thought it'd be a little bit more understeer than that, but you can see on the traction it's getting pretty difficult now. We've actually made our way up into 2nd place, because I think some people have actually pitted for the super soft tyre, so we've actually stayed out on this ultra soft, which is pretty durable. I think it's only on like 30% at this point. So but as you can see, someone's actually making a mistake up front, and we've got really good pace. This whole race we've got good pace. We've got really insane traction. We've got coming off here now, so this setup's working really well. Going into first now and braking slightly earlier. We go a little bit deep, but you've just been blown up into the wall, and we've got to reverse into this as well. And yep, cheers for that. A grumbly fish, if I can read that properly. So yep, I don't think he liked being overtaken too much, but as I said, this is all just fun and games, just having a lot of fun in this. But we still, well, we're in 2nd place now. Venom has actually overtaken us back into the lead, and he's actually done a Rosberg into that corner there, so he's struggling in these conditions as well. So I think everyone's struggling, and now we've got a teammate behind us who's actually already pitted for the super soft tyre, and we're going to go into the pits. So it's crucial now we actually stay ahead of him before the pits, because we're just going to get held up as we box this lap. Tell Jeff, even though he's not speaking to me at the moment, but we're going to go into the pits this lap, and it's crucial we get ahead of him, because otherwise we're just going to be held up like 5 to 10 seconds as we're playing ping ball with the wall at this point as well. So braking, trying to spot this braking point. A little bit too early on the curb there, trying to get good traction just about, but I think on his tyres he's going to have a lot more grip than us, because they're fairly new tyres, and the harder compound seems to be a lot better in the wet. So navigating our way through the chicane, 4th gear through here, nailing that apex nicely, brushing the barrier once again, and we're going to go into the pits now, which I think we're going to go on intermediates. So definitely go intermediates, and I thought that was a teammate, but somehow someone behind me is caught up so quickly. And you'll be able to see at the end of this race exactly the reason why, because I felt I was driving really well with this race, but then in the last sector I was getting caught by like a second or 2 seconds sometimes, which is I was pretty confused about. So as our teammate has to wait there, so that's pretty unlucky for him. But we're going to go out into the lead once again. Come out of this pit and already making contact with the barrier, forgetting to turn off the pit limiters, because it's the first time I've come out onto this track. So 3rd gear, staying just about in the white lines, coming out now. And that's us into the lead again. So we're good. Just going to see how these conditions are, because I haven't really done the intermediates too much. Only 5 lap races really, whenever that's happened, but that hasn't happened too much. And staying in 4th gear for this, and you can see the traction is not too bad, but as we're coming up to someone who's decided to stay out on the dry tyre, so pretty bold from him, which is Fantasy X Dark, which I've raced with him quite a few times in some sprint lobbies. But yep, I think he's probably going to let us pass, so he's probably just understeered off, so I think he's going to do it anyway. But thank you very much for that. And I think, yeah, he's struggling quite a bit as we're coming out here now. We've lost the car already, because it's completely dry in the tunnel, and the wet tyres, the intermediates, don't like the dry parts of the track. So yeah, that's as I think he's just gone completely straight on as well. So he's having an absolute nightmare in this race. And but now we're just going to try and get used to it. So I was building up a nice little gap at this point because in the wet on the previous game, I really enjoy wet conditions in F1 games. Something I've just always really seem to enjoy. In this game, it feels really nice as well. So coming off here now, just trying to put in some good laps as we're struggling with the traction a little bit, high-fiving the pit walls as we go past as well. And we're going to start on to lap 14, and I think we're going to skip on ahead a little bit into the race now. So going into this hairpin, the super tight hairpin, pad steering seems to be fairly good around there actually. It's one of the best it's felt in quite a while, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like in AOR around there. But as you can see, we've got quite a big gap now, so pulled out a decent lead. I'd say 3 or so seconds or something at the moment. So, but keep an eye on that map on the bottom left. Forget rules are actually on, so you can still get warnings and stuff as well as we make a little bit of a thing. But look at that! Oh my God, there's someone who's just gone absolutely flat out through there, which is Tom Groron. I can't read that on my screen unfortunately, but I know he's someone who follows me on Twitter. I know I see your tweets all the time, and he's a good racer as well. I've seen him on this, and he seems like a pretty sound guy. Hearing him over the game chat, but he's just decided to go straight on there, and I think someone else has done that as well. As I think people are wall riding that last corner. You'll be able to see it at the end of the race. So, but apparently he's not getting any warnings. So went and race direct at the end of the race, and you don't get any warnings for that, which is kind of concerning. But obviously with strict, when we run that in leagues and stuff, I think you'll be punished a lot more. Maybe I might just run strict from now on whenever I do lobbies, but I don't want to get everyone disqualified if they cut too many corners. But so coming into this spot on the braking point, just about to nail the curb, not corn cutting it or anything there. And I think they've cut the chicane again, so still doing it again, but we're just pulling away in sectors 1 and 2, so we're doing just enough at this point just to pull away, because I said it just feels like it's got really good traction coming off here. So making up time here. So if you look at the mini map again, I think they're going to do a wall ride here, which I can maybe can see that. Look how much you can see in the mirror as well. Look how much time he's gained from that. So it's gained like an insane amount of time, and I haven't done the time trial yet, but I think the fastest is like a 9 or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see if people are doing that in time trial. So, but I'll do a clean up in time trial, and then maybe I'll do one for fun to see how fast I can actually go by doing the same thing, which is kind of like a game on PGR4. We could do the same thing, but you can see lap 19 now. I think they've decided not to do it for a few laps because we've actually managed to pull away for a decent gap again. But I think if we watch through here now, it's going through a chicane. We're spotting the braking point quite nicely through there, and yeah, he's done it again. So, and he's not getting any warnings as well. So yeah, that's really good. And I was just couldn't believe it. So I just completely just lost my head at that point. And yeah, so we're gonna go through this, and I think someone does the wall ride here, which you'll be able to see. So we're just managing to do quite a good corner. You can see the arrow there, and wow. That's how much time is being gained through here. But I was still determined to win this race. I was hoping Tom wouldn't do anything in this last lap, see if he can possibly catch him. But I just couldn't believe it. My head's gone at this point. I just couldn't believe it. But we're going to go up through here. So you can see how much traction we get on him. So actually driving the track properly, we get an insane amount of traction. So I don't know if it's just the wings or just the setup, as I said, is really is. I really have focused it on actually just generating good traction compared to straight line speed, because I think on traction in this game it's all about how early you can actually get on the throttle, which I think is pretty important in this game, especially in a race situation. Obviously in qualifying TT it is a lot about the cornering speed, but I feel in a race, from doing a little bit of some serious race practice as well, I think it's going to be more down to that, which is going to get the good results. But you can see now getting a good traction. I think Vettel, I don't know if he's done the wall ride around the hairpin, because he's actually caught up quite a bit as well. But we're going to take this well now, and I think Tom's actually decided, and there's a massive lag spike, and he's just completely cut the corner as well. So he's just gone straight on, and we've got that grumbly fish behind us. And yep, if we could stay on the podium, I would be fairly happy with that as well. So, but we're losing the car because I'm at this point I'm just laughing so much. I just can't believe what's happening. But I think we'll be able to see this now. And oh my God, that is tragic. So hopefully people aren't doing that on time trial, as I think Tom wins the race. But we've got a disqualification glitch anyway, But yeah, and he decided to blow himself up. But end of this race, I don't think he had any warnings or anything as well. I don't know if we go on race director. I might bring it up now actually, just so you can see it. But that was a race at Monaco in the 25%, and that was a lot of fun. The other lobbies I've been in, the 5-lap race lobbies, have been a lot of fun. So as always, yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, you can be a part of these. But if you can't, if you don't race on this platform, hopefully you enjoy this. Let me know if you want more online gameplay. I'll probably be doing actual live commentary. Hopefully actually talking to people as well, actually in the game itself. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Something a little bit different. Monaco will be coming tomorrow. It probably won't be today because there's a few things, unfortunately, I need to do. But that will be coming tomorrow. Hopefully you're enjoying this and the game as well. And I will see you later.